The Premier League is almost back, and all the talk has been about Manchester City and Manchester United. But what about Chelsea? Are we sleeping on the European champions? Welcome back to the Forward Watch podcast. I'm TheShyKai, your resident Chelsea fan. And over to my left, the Balak to my Lampard. Retha, how are you doing?
Yeah, the resident United fan here. I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Can't complain. Friday is almost upon us, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, we're all excited for club football to come back after what was an interesting Euros tournament and a dead Olympics. So, yeah, it's very interesting where the current European champions are being slept on. Obviously, everybody's talking about United signing Varane and Sancho. We talked about Man City buying Grealish. Obviously, we talked about all this off screen. But people have said Chelsea need a striker and a centre-back to challenge for the league, and they're getting it. So I don't see... What do you think about the state of Chelsea at the moment with these signings that they're bringing in, post and pre-signing Lukaku and Gundogan?
It's a funny one because I feel like the whole sleeping on Chelsea thing, I think it goes back to, is it harder to win the Champions League? You know, I think there's a group that'll say, yes, I mean, it's the freaking Champions League. Yeah. But then there's also a group who rates the Premier League and the format of a league and say it's a different kettle of fish, you know, especially for a manager who got to Chelsea already in the quarterfinal. But then, you know, he won the Champions League. And a few years ago, Liverpool won the Champions League and they went on to win the league. So I kind of feel like it would be wrong to disrespect them as much as a lot of us United fans and maybe City fans. Okay, City fans, it's not enough of them to notice. So yeah, but maybe United fans and maybe Liverpool fans. But yeah, you know, I've also been that one who said in the past that, you know, if Chelsea get a striker and, you know, they get a good centre back, they will compete. And, you know, they've got a manager under Tuchel who knows his stuff. You know, I think you guys played some good football last season, but there was a problem of not being able to finish in terms of league football. You know, like you didn't really get the ball in the back of the net. A lot of draws, a lot of games where you probably should have gotten 3 points, but you didn't, you know. So that was a problem last year. And I think now you've brought in a striker who, no matter what situation, he will score goals. Yeah. Because Lukaku is not like a Griezmann or a Martial, where it's more his technical ability that makes him stand out. Lukaku is big, Lukaku is fast, Lukaku can finish. So no matter what situation you put him in, he will score goals, you know? Yeah. And we look at it like that, you know, it makes sense that Chelsea should be talked about in terms of challenging for the title. And I think there are some people who are talking about Chelsea challenging for the title. For me, my only worry is that I don't know how good the rest of your attack is. I feel like the jury is still out there. Yeah. You know, I don't know what I said about Werner. I don't know what I said about Ziyech. I don't know what I said about Havertz. I just don't know if they can have the consistency in order to challenge for the title. But I think that might be me nitpicking.
Yeah. Do you think that people have played down Chelsea's or not talked about Chelsea's chances because of the level of competition there is in the Premier League right now with the signings of that United made, that City have made? We're still saying that City may sign Kane, and there's all the talks of Messi going to City, which, guys, calm down, please. He's not going to City. Just calm down. But yeah, do you think it's just the level of competition that's present in the Premier League as to why people aren't talking about this Lukaku and Gundogan signing enough? Because people say in the past, like, oh, they just need a striker and a centre back. But now it's like that's not enough to get to the top because of the signings that the other teams have made, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes we just like the shiniest toy as football fans. And I feel like Varane and Sancho are much shinier toys than maybe, let's say, Koundé and who else? Okay, Lukaku's is a good player. But yeah, I just feel like there is that bias. And look, it's debatable. Like, which team has the better squad? Chelsea, United. I've had this debate with a lot of people. Yeah. And I don't know really. I think maybe I don't know because I see you guys beat us in midfield because you have both Jorginho and Kante, but then the flip side to that is that does a midfield with Pogba and Bruno not beat pretty much any midfield no matter what?
Yeah.
So I think it's arguable, but yeah, I do think your point is right. I just think the level of competition in this league is just insane now.
Yeah.
And I know we say this every year, like, oh, it's going to be tight. It doesn't really end up like that, but come on. Like this year, I think it's no mistake that everybody's saying the top four is basically done already. Like we know who's going to be them. It's about the order. It's no mistake that everybody's saying anyone can win the league in that top four. I mean, we have two teams that are really investing. We've had a team that's gotten 90-something points before. Actually, you have two, so I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. But I mean, under their current manager with Klopp, they've gone like 97, 96 points. Yeah. So I do think that the competition is why people are playing it down. You're 100% right there.
Yeah. And do you think this may be a blessing in disguise of playing it down? Because we have basically Paul Pogba our way to Lukaku, and it's just, we've basically done
So you like that for a bit. What'd you say?
I'm saying maybe it's a blessing in disguise because we did a Paul Pogba. We're bringing back Lukaku for about 100 mil. So is it fine that we've avoided the banter for that? Nobody's really talking about the Lukaku deal because I don't want to get banter for Lukaku. Eh? I don't want to get banter for bringing back Lukaku. It's fine. You guys can banter me in the comments. It's okay. I'll take it. As long as he scores 20 goals, you guys can banter me. It's fine. But
did you guys listen free? Or like, how did he go again? It was not as bad as the Pogba.
We sold him for 28 million.
Not bad. Yes, now you bought him back for a ridiculous amount. But how much are you paying again? Like 150? Or am I going to...
115 million euros, which is about 97 million pounds.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
I think he's the most expensive incoming sign. No, he's not, because it's Grealish. So he's like the second most expensive incoming signing in the Premier League. So
yeah. No. That's a good point. I do think there will be banter because you can't sign for that much and football fans just need you. But I don't see it being as much as, let's say, a Pogba because it's Manchester United. And, a large part of people love Manchester United and the other half love to hate Manchester United. So it's a yikes there. But no. I do think people playing it down, and people have always done that with Chelsea, I've noticed. Like, I feel like the scrutiny is never really insane with you guys. And I found that in the past, it kind of helps you guys because you just get along with your business. Then it's Jan and like you're 10 points clear. Like, okay.
Suddenly it's like, okay, where did these guys come from? But yeah.
So I do think it'd be good for you guys.
Yeah. To break down the signings, where do you think Lukaku plays, or where does Lukaku come in? Because I've had reservations in the past about him coming into Tuchel's system, with it being a possession-based system, from what I've watched. And his first touch is as effective as a brick. So how do you see him from an outsider's point of view? How do you see him coming into the squad and making that first big impact in the Chelsea squad? Do you think it'll be different to United, or will it be or we see the Everton Lukaku come back out?
Yeah, no, I think we see a Lukaku that scores a ridiculous amount of goals. I guess the Everton Lukaku, maybe not in the sense that he has to carry the team, or maybe because the guys don't have goal scorers, so your goals are going to have to come from him, really. But I don't see a problem with the position-based thing, to be honest, because I think he'd be even better. At United, he was top goal scorer, but I don't know. I kind of felt like Mourinho would play a system where he gets isolated a lot.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really fruitful. Yeah. And another point, I think, was Mourinho. Did he make it out? I'm not sure. When he made it about Shaw, he made this point about Shaw that Shaw is one of those players who needs to be loved,
Yeah.
And if you love him, give him that affection, he will perform.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he felt like maybe he didn't give enough to Shaw with that. I think the same about Lukaku. I do think there's a huge amount of the United fan base that didn't really give Lukaku enough respect for your staying first.
Yeah.
And I don't think we got the best out of Lukaku because of that. But playing style-wise, I know under Mourinho and Conte played in a very different system, which is funny because I kind of feel like that system needs hold up more.
Yeah.
If you're going to be playing on the counter, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like hold up is more important there. And we never really heard this first touch stuff at Italy, but that could be because the Italian league is much slower. So I think there's a lot of context to it. But what I feel, to answer your question, is that at Chelsea, Lukaku just needs to stay in the box. You know, he just needs to be that guy, the man who's always in the box. And with the amount of chances you guys create, he's always in that area. He will be, you know, the final piece. You will put them in game in, game out. He's not good at hold up, fine, but it doesn't mean you're a bad player. You know, let's play to your strengths and just keep him in that box. Just spam the crosses, just get the ball into them, and Lukaku will finish them. You know, and that's his role. I see at Chelsea, and he could be the final piece.
Yeah, just press square all the time for FIFA fans. Just keep pressing square. Do you think that, I know the focus has been on Lukaku, but do you think Lukaku's signing could bring the best out of Werner and Havertz as well?
I don't know about Werner. I don't know. Honestly, I do think Werner is a system player, and I struggle to see his place, you know, in this team. You know, I don't know how Tuchel is going to play him. You know, I don't know how, because for me, a balanced team, and this might send shockwaves, I'm sorry to people, there's controversial, but if Pulisic could stay fit, I'm playing Pulisic, Lukaku, and Ziyech as a front three. I find the team so balanced, you know. It's got the width, it's got the pace coming from the sides, and it's got a classic number 9 to the middle. That's what I would do. Werner, I just don't know. He's like a Griezmann, as I said. Kind of has to play in a system that's suited for him. Otherwise, you just don't see the best of him, you know. Even though he had decent numbers, I just don't know. So that's my problem with Chelsea. I just don't know about the other players around them. Havertz, once again, he came from a team where he's playing false 9. And I don't understand why Chelsea bought this guy. And they're like, okay, you're going to play the 10 now. You're like, I just don't see how that made sense. I get he's a good player, and maybe they scouted him like these teams do, but I just found it a bit odd as well. And then Ziyech as well, injury problems. So there's a lot of uncertainty about your attack at Chelsea. I think behind that, you guys are crisp, you know. But Mount, you got, wow, it's not about Mount. You got Mount.
Mount is a world class. You know what? I'm not going to say world class because I'm going to get in trouble. But he's a good player. I will not take any Mount. We do not disrespect Mount in this house.
He's a good player, but I wouldn't take him at United. I want to. I'm sorry.
Well, who do you take if you have Bruno? You know, who do you take if you have Bruno? I'm sorry, all the Bruno haters.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But
no, all the Bruno haters will take Bruno to their team. He's hating, but he's not at that club. But anyway, you got two top CDMs, you know, like what more can you ask for, really? It's maybe they're different in style, but they're both really good, you know, and you got an abundance of centre backs. So I think they're top. It's about how he can get those players to score goals. And if it all clicks, Chelsea are there. I won't say win the league, but they're there.
How do you think we're all overlooking the potential signing of Gundogan? Or do you think Lukaku was the missing piece that we should focus on? Or do you think we're missing something with the whole nobody's talking about Gundogan as well?
I think Lukaku was more important, to be honest, because I feel like you guys could always keep clean sheets, and I rate Thiago Silva. So I do think it improves you. I think Thiago Silva and Gundogan are two best, and they will play most of the games. And I'm not sure you're going to play 3 or 2, but they'll play most of the games. And so I think also, you know, he came with the same win as Varane, so it becomes difficult to get your time in the limelight.
So
but what do you think as a Chelsea fan? You know, like where do you think you guys stand?
I'm really excited about the season. You know, I think Lukaku and Gundogan could be good missing pieces. Obviously, I have worries about. I think that, you know, this may be the system that gets the best out of the players, as we saw, like the midfield. We have no questions about the midfield. They're all talented. It was just the attack that we were sort of struggling with. And I feel like with Lukaku in and all the service he gets, it doesn't matter if Pulisic scores 5 goals, if Lukaku scores 30, you know, it's one of those scenarios.
That's a good point.
So I feel like with the delivery from, if he plays wing backs and we have delivery from Reece James and Alonso and all those people, I feel like that could be a good outlet for Lukaku. I feel like he'll get more service than he did at Man United. So yeah, and I feel like with Gundogan as well, I think that shows up the defense, because sometimes we're good defensively, but sometimes people have questions over like Rudiger and Christensen. So I feel like that shows up our defense. Gundogan could be our linchpin in the defense, to be like, if he stays fit and stays in the team, he could be the one that steadies the defense. So I'm really excited. I think that this sounds like the cliche Chelsea fan response, but I expect big things from this team, you know, with a world-class manager, with world-class players on the pitch. I expect big things from this team. Last question, and this may be a brazen one. Do you think Chelsea can replicate their success in the Champions League with the squad?
What do you mean by winning the Premier League?
No, in the Champions League, sorry.
Look, I'm not gonna hide it. You know my opinions on this. I'm not gonna hide it. I find your Champions League win to be a little funny. To be honest.
Come on,
I find it
champions of Europe, we know who we are.
And it's unfair. It's like when Modric won the Ballon d'Or, and everyone's like, oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being wrong. Maybe I'm being too hard on Chelsea, but I don't know. I just look at other teams that won the Champions League in the past, and I look at Chelsea, and I just don't get the same vibe. I really don't. But that's not Chelsea's fault, you know. I guess that's just the standard at the moment, you know. So yeah, wow, standard at the moment. It sounds like I'm really violating Chelsea, but to be honest, you know, I don't see it. I really, really don't. I think teams like PSG, maybe Bayern Munich coming up again, I think they'll be the favorites in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't see it. And what are my reasonings? If I think you guys can compete in the Premier League, then I have to think that you guys can compete in the Champions League. But I just don't see that X factor, which is weird because you've done it, you know, you've done it. So I'm talking absolute crap. But I will see. We'll see. Maybe I think I'm a little biased.
Yeah, we'll just. I was going to ask a Liverpool question, but that's not what we're doing here. We'll have a whole separate discussion about Liverpool. We're gonna prove Retha wrong. Put in the comments a number. That number will be how many trophies Chelsea will win this season. Put it in the comments down below. Like, subscribe if you haven't. This has been a discussion about Chelsea. I've been TheShyKai. This has been Retha, and we shall see you tomorrow.